Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's a Sunday. I'm here. I figured I don't want to watch UFC today. It's no big deal. So here I am, having a coffee. Ah, yeah, pretty good coffee too. They always make good coffees here. That's the thing. Their coffee is always good. Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about, and we've talked about this before, but we're going to talk about it again, and that is whether or not it's really worth it to come back to Thailand. Because I'll tell you what, if I was to come here now the same way that I came here before, which is I had 10 grand and I had money coming in every month for 18 months, supposedly, would I come to Thailand? And you know, I have my doubts about that. I really do. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about a couple other things, but let me just finish what I'm doing real quick here because I'm running behind a little bit. Give me just a minute. Maybe some people will come in here. We'll see. Let's see. Boy. Let's see. Will that do it? Let's see here. All right, that should do it. All right. Done. Good morning. Again. We're here. Hopefully there's people out there. Can you hear me? I'm curious to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Can you hear me? Hopefully the audio is quite good. So, before we get started, of course, we have to go over what is the weather like here. And man, you know, it's getting to that point where it's a little bit too hot. Actually, let me see here. Wondering if the mic is on. Yes, the mic is on. Why are you asking if the mic is on? It's on. It's connected. Good morning, Mr. Jim. Good morning. Good morning. I don't know what to say. I got the mic on. Everything is supposedly good, so that's all I can say. Okay, so right now, 33.73. Supposedly by April 1st, it's going to be up to 36 to the dollar, which would make me quite happy. But right now, it's under 34, and I don't particularly like that. But, you know, what can you do? You just got to accept everything the way that it is. You can talk about it. You can complain about it. Damn currency exchange. I'm getting crap for my money now. Oh, my God. It's not really a big deal. Well, I am just sweating now. Air quality, 160. Air quality, 160. That is not good. And, you know, I talked to my wife this morning about going to Surat. We still don't know. She's got somebody here from Surat right now. So we got to figure it out. But I kind of want to go somewhere just to get away from the city. Just to get away from this crappy air. 29 degrees Celsius is 84.2. The high is 36 degrees Celsius. That's the high today, 96.8. Wow, it's going to be a hot one today. Low is 26 degrees Celsius, 78.8 Fahrenheit. And let's see here, 32 is the feel like temperature, which is 89.6. The humidity is 73%. So not only is it getting hotter in the temperature, but the humidity is quite high. And all I know is that I went out, jumped on the back of a taxi, motorbike taxi, came over here, and by the time I came over here, I'm sweating. And you know, the thing is with these motorbikes, it's going to be cloudy Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's sunny for the next couple of days. All right, so that's the weather. I get on this motorbike this morning, man, and it's a young kid, you know, he's all tattooed up, and you know, you can tell he's a smoker, and he's all tattooed up. He's maybe 24, 23. He's got the biggest, I mean, this is the biggest piece of crud motorbike that I've ever seen. And I go, oh, can I scan? He goes, oh, no scan. I go, oh, but you can make a transfer. I said, all right, fine. His bike was so bad, I didn't even want to take it all the way to the mall. I mean, it was like I sat on the thing, and there's no muffler. You can hear it. I mean, it's just loud. He probably thinks that's cool. I don't know. So he gets to the overpass, and I go, just drop me off here. I go, you're supposed to take me to the mall, but drop me off here. Drop me off. I paid him. I said, okay. So the thing that I forget, and this is my fault, is that sometimes they drive up on their motorbikes, and their motorbikes are pieces of shit. And this one was just, I mean, I'm sitting there. The bike is almost all the way to the ground. My knees are up. I'm sitting there like this. And I'm going, this thing is not comfortable at all. I mean, you know, I know I'm not that old. But like, all I ask is that I get onto a comfortable motorcycle, and that I can take a little trip. I can take a little trip across the way here. I mean, it only takes 3 to 5 minutes to get here. Depends on the traffic. There's no traffic right now. I'm thinking to myself, you know, when I say I'm not going to go all the way to the mall, because I mean, it is an extra 15 baht, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I just go, take me to the mall. That way he drops me off right in front of the coffee shop. I just walk right in, boom, I'm here. And I went, no. So that's the kind of thing sometimes you have to worry about. But you know, listen, I got from point A to point B. Now, if I was going 500 miles or something, I would have said something, because that thing is just a big piece of shit. All right, let me see something here. Yeah, we'll have to straighten that out. There we go. Okay. That is the temperature and all that other stuff. Yeah, you're going to have to use your air conditioner a little more frequently now. I mean, at least here you are. But I know that in most places the air is not great. So that way, I mean, I know where we live in the south, that the air is pretty good most of the time. It might be 50 or 60 sometimes, but sometimes it's 20 to 30. So maybe I'd like to go there. I don't know, you know. I don't know. Anyway, enough about that. Listen, do me a favor, if you will. If you like this stream, if you like my channel, you like the videos, click thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, share the video, spread the word. I want to get to 16,000. I only got about 200 and I don't know how many left. 200 and maybe 300 or something like that. 300 and I don't know. 300 and something. But I want to get to that. That's the first step. The next step is 17,000, and then it's 17.5, and then it's 20,000. Hopefully, I'll get to that point at some juncture. So do that. Look down in the description. Check everything out. I've got everything down here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Need a consultation, or if you want to submit a Dear Scott letter that I'll read and go over, send it to me at anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com. That's down in the description. Support the channel. Check for the ways below to contribute. Everything is in the description, but use the Cash App. Become a sponsor on YouTube. Buy me a coffee. Get an American in Bangkok merchandise. Use Patreon. I have not been pushing Patreon, but I'm going to start pushing it soon. Get some from Amazon or use Wise if you want to make your transfers through Wise. If you sign up through Wise, there's a chance, a slim chance that maybe I'll make like $50. It's a chance. I've never made the money, ever. And I've had numerous people sign up. I guess they didn't sign up within the right period of time or something. I don't know. Anyway, everything is down below, the social media, and also people who support the channel, they're right down there in the description. So that's where we are. Oh my God. I'm scrolling down the thing here. Why this British lady moved to Bangkok, Thailand. Good for her. That's all I'm going to say. Good for her. And that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, today we're going to talk about whether or not Thailand is still a place where you should move or even come to visit. Because I know people that have been visiting here. They visited here once or twice before, or they've just come one time, and then they've gone to Vietnam or they've gone to the Philippines or somewhere else, and they go, I'll never go back to Thailand. Some people hate Thailand. Not as many as there are people that like Thailand. But to me, it seems like in Thailand now, more and more people, especially older people, seem to be leaving the country. Having first-hand knowledge of the volume in the background there, your audio is filtering it out better than could be expected. Okay, well that's good to know. I could put the furry cat on there, of a dead cat, but I don't think I need it. Oh, good morning, Dowlo. Oh, yes, you're here. Well, very good. Run on over here. Come on over here and see me. Jump on the SkyTrain. You can be here in a matter of 5 minutes. And we'll have coffee at a real coffee shop, Dowlo. A coffee shop that makes good coffee. Anyway, let me see something here. I'm looking at something. I'm looking. Let's see here. Next week, let's see. Tomorrow we have, what is the name of that? What is the name of that? What is it here? Let me see. Jesus Christ. The biggest lie about living in Thailand. That video is going to be going up tomorrow at about 8 o'clock in the morning. And then on, okay, hang on here. And then on Tuesday, we're going to go over the rudest countries, the least hospitable countries in the world. And then on Friday, I'll be on the Chao Phraya River. I don't know where. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I haven't thought about it. But I'll be down there on the Chao Phraya. Maybe I'll go to Sarni's. Just so I can get Mr. Billy to watch, possibly. And then, well, that is on, okay, Tuesday, the next Tuesday, we're going to talk about America and its share of problems and why I think Thailand is a better place to come, for the most part, than America. And, you know, I got a message from a guy, and the guy says to me, hey, the only thing wrong with America is that people don't get paid enough and it's too expensive. I'm like, no. There's a lot more things wrong with America than that. A lot more. So we'll talk about that a little bit on Tuesday. So I think that's all I have planned. And after that, I don't know, man. You know, I try to plan everything, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just isn't meant to be. G'day, mate. Well, that's something that we need to talk about. All the Chinese, the Indians, the Russians, the Malaysians, the Cambodians, the Burmese, the Laotians, did I say that? They're you know, I got a message from a lady last night, and she said, oh, America is so multicultural and Thailand is not, and that's why they don't want us here. Well, she didn't say here, they want us here. She said maybe that's why they don't want foreigners there, because they just want it all to the Thais. And I'm like, okay, if they want it all to the Thais, then we take away all our money, and we'll see how they like it. They won't. But, you know, when I thought about the whole multicultural, listen, Thailand is nowhere near as multicultural as the United States. I know that. You know, the United States is a melting pot. You know, you can be from wherever you want to be, and if you put in your time and you move there and you become a citizen, you're an American, right? Here in Thailand, that doesn't really happen. However, Malaysians, Laotians, Cambodians, Burmese, to a lesser extent Vietnamese. Not many Vietnamese come here, but some do. They all come here. Same with Indonesians, but not many. They all come here, and they come here to work most of the time. So they work and live here. Westerners may come here to work, but on a much smaller scale, and usually in very specialized industries. Here, people come. I mean, you walk down the street, and I mean the market is probably, I would say, 50% Burmese. 50% Burmese, 50% Thai. Maybe 45% Thai and about 5% Laotians. You know, I mean, that's just how it is now. Ever since the problems in Myanmar, all kinds of Burmese have come here. If you go over to the park that I come from, it's over here a little ways, and you go down there, it's got all the little vendors around, and then sometimes I walk through the park. If you go over there, you can't visibly see as many Burmese, but I remember there was a Burmese day there, and all these people from that neighborhood started coming out, and I mean hundreds and hundreds of them. So, you know, yeah, they're all making, you know, most are making an honest, I would say, just like, you know, most Thais are making an honest living. Same with the Laotians, the Cambodians, the Burmese. They're all here making an honest living. You find most of the India passengers are only in you mean they're in transit to Pattaya or Phuket? Listen, I could have went with my wife to Phuket this past week. And I said, no, I don't want to go. Because, you know, I used to live there. I lived there for a year. I've been there like 10 times. I just went there not too long ago with her, took my drone, went and flew the drone, went and did all kinds of things. And I just thought to myself, man, this place is a tourist trap. You're in Phuket town, you're down in Bangla, wherever you are, man, it's a tourist trap. And I just went, I can't do this, you know. And she's really busy anyway, so I'm probably not going to get that much time from her. But I get to go down there and hang out and go wherever I want. But so what? For me, I would rather stay in Bangkok. Than to go to Phuket. Well, it's funny because, let me see something here. It's funny because Prakanong is near where Jono lives. And what I have said to him is, and he knows this, he doesn't go the way that I usually go. I usually walk down Sukhumvit and just keep walking, and on the left side is the market. But the market is quite big, and it's hard to find. Well, it's not really hard to find, but you may not know it. but the market is connected. If you go one way, it's all in the back, and then if you walk down the street this way, you can go down a little street and it runs right into the market. And some people don't know, but the market is right on the canal, and that market is full of Burmese. Okay, that is Prakanong. And I mean, I've eaten there, I've done all kinds of things there, and I mean, I like it down there, but I just don't want to. I don't want to live in that area. There's a lot of other places you can live, and honestly, I like where I live right now, with the exception of the smog and the traffic. So anyway, I don't see the article in the Nation. Let me see here. Oh, come on. What are they doing? Doesn't come up? I don't think it came up. Ah, not again. This fucking thing. I can't do this shit. I can't handle clicking I'm not a robot all the time. I just clicked it. Oh, Little Myanmar, a cultural haven in Bangkok. Yeah, I mean, I've streamed from this area. Most people don't know it's Little Myanmar. Yeah, I've eaten there. So that's a place to go. If you just want to do something different, you want to have I like to go places in the morning. I just have a coffee. Sometimes I get something to eat, but most of the time I just have a coffee. And if I want to go somewhere later in the afternoon, I have a meal at lunch, and I hang out in a place, and I walk around a little bit. I used to take photos all the time, and now it's more videos and streams and stuff like that, but I will be starting very soon with the photos again. But yeah, that's where you can go, and it's, listen, down by Klong Tui, there are a lot of Burmese also. There's anywhere there's markets, there's going to be Burmese. So remember that. They built a functional CJ Moore. Could do that in Australia, be in council for approval longer. Oh, the CJ, I think it's CJ Moore, like More. I don't know, but it's the little mini market kind of place. Yeah, Mohinja. Yes, it's very good. I love that. Anyway, so, it's a little change of pace. You can go to Little Portugal if you go down by the Chao Phraya. There's all kinds of stuff. Oh my God. All right, let me take a look at this here. If I can figure this out, what I put up here, because I have a little script, and I have my notes, and I need to get into it. Now, I know some of you have already been here for years, while others are thinking of making the move, but either way, I would like to hear from you about this subject, about your experiences here. What is your plan for the future? You can leave a message in the chat. We can have a discussion about this. But the first thing that we got to talk about is, and we always talk about this, it's the cost of living. Hey, Jim. How you doing? Okay. Back to Manila. Oof. You know, I know people say, oh, go to the Philippines, it's this, it's that. I've been to those places. I've been to Cebu, I've been to Boracay, I've been to a lot of nice places in the Philippines, and the people are great. And I know there's poverty in Thailand. And I know in Manila, there is poverty, and there is not poverty, because I've stayed in some hotels. We stayed, I think it was in the Sheraton or something, the Marriott or something. I think it was the Sheraton. And, you know, I mean, it was, we didn't have any poverty around us. We weren't worried about anything. And, you know, every time we went in, they checked for bombs, and, you know, it was just. But I don't really have the desire to go back there. Yeah, Shangri-La Makati. That's exactly where it was. We used to stay there all the time when I went with the boxing team. And, you know, we'd all have breakfast, and they had the buffet breakfast and everything. It was great. And then we would go out sometimes, and we would, you know, usually we had some Filipinos with us, and they would take us out to places where we would go out. Who knows where that was. And we'd always have a great time. But I have no desire to live there. There are other places to live besides the Philippines. And I know, you know, Jim, you work there. But, man, I'd be like you. I'd be, okay, I can't wait to get out of here. Because that's pretty much how I feel about it. And while it's nice to go to the Philippines, I don't know what it is. I really don't. You know, sometimes I go to a place and I go, oh, man, this place is incredible. And I can't grab it. It's intangible. I can't grab what, you know, I can't say or put it in words exactly what it is sometimes. But in the Philippines, I think probably it's the poverty that puts me off. And, you know, that's probably what it is. And I'm not scared of poverty or anything like that. It's just, I just don't want to deal with it. You know? I mean, listen, they had all these guys here that stayed up on the walkway, and they were constant every single day, 4 or 5 people begging for money. And I'm like, listen, if I come over here every single day and I give this guy 100 baht a day, I'm giving him, you know, I'm giving him 100. That's one person. I'm giving him, you know, like $100 a day. And I'm like, I just, you know, I can't do that because, first of all, it's prohibiting him from doing anything. He's not going to do anything as long as he can sit there and collect his money. Now, maybe the government needs to get in, you know, into gear and try to help these people. I don't know. But now, because they're not allowed to stay up there anymore, now they have banned them. I don't know who it was, the city or the mall or whoever, but they're banned from being up there. So now they hang out below and down a little ways. You walk a little ways down, boom, there they are. The same people. You go to the market, the same people every single day. And you walk by them and they're like, and I feel bad for them. You know, I mean, sometimes I give them money, but listen, I'm not giving them money every day. You know, I mean, I understand. Jesus Christ, you know. So when it comes to the Philippines, there are other places that I would like to go. Hey, Carlos, how you doing? Oh, you'll be down here in another week, eh? All right. Is Thailand still cheap? Well, I mean, we've talked about this a million times. If you're new here, maybe you haven't talked about it. It depends on your expectations. If you're coming from the US or Europe, you might think things are affordable. But compared to even 5 years ago, prices have definitely gone up. Now, what's funny is, about 11 years ago, I did a video about Cambodia. And I said, in about 10 years, Cambodia is going to start to be a happening place. It's going to be a place that people are going to want to go. And people were like, well, I don't know, maybe. And I'm like, watch. I don't know how I knew. I'm not saying I, have all this foresight and I can, I can tell the future. That wasn't what it was. I just felt like something about Cambodia is a little better than Thailand, is a little different than Thailand. And so, I've been watching it, and now they've got ATMs, which they didn't used to have. They've got Western Union and MoneyGram and banking and all this kind of stuff. They've got hospitals now, decent. They've got a couple decent hospitals that you could go to for something, relatively minor. Nothing really complicated, like quadruple bypass surgery or anything like that. But they've gotten better. And the tourism has gotten better. And the visa system has gotten better. So now people want to go there. Now, that doesn't mean that Cambodia has caught up all the way and there's such a much better place than Thailand, but it is an alternative, okay? The prices have gone up here. The prices have gone up in Cambodia. The prices have gone up everywhere. But the gap between what it used to be and what it is now is getting bigger here. And from how it used to be, it's a completely different story. Rents are higher. Even places like Pattaya and Chiang Mai, the prices are a bit higher. If you want a Western style apartment here in Bangkok, expect to pay 15 to 25,000 baht a month. And maybe you're going to pay, I'm going to say 5,000 to 8,000, all the way up to 15,000 in the smaller cities. But here in Thailand, Jono has a nice apartment, pretty nice apartment. It's a little bit more than this. Mr. Billy had an apartment. It was within this range. It does not astound me that that is the price now. Now, what I can tell you is I used to have an apartment back in the day that it was 30,000 baht a month plus utilities and everything. And I thought that was, whoa, my God, that was exorbitant. It's so high. I can't believe it. But I also had an apartment that was 3,500 baht a month. And I knew women who had apartments that were 2,500, 5,000 in that range. They're a lot more money now. They're gone up. I mean, if you want, you can find yourself a little 5,000 baht studio down Victory Monument or, somewhere along those lines. But it may not be all that comfortable. I mean, living in one room, that's a studio. Do you really want to be a backpacker? Like, if you're over 40, over 50, do you really want to live in one little tiny room? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know that I like to walk around and know, oh, I have this over here. I got plenty of room to stick my stuff. We have a house. We can put our stuff there. We have our house here, a condo here. Well, it's a townhouse. We can stick our stuff here. Now, this townhouse, I would say it's almost on the verge of being too small. It is on the verge of being, it is too small. That's what I'll say. My wife has too much stuff. Now, maybe she could throw away 30% of that. We could get rid of a lot of junk, and then maybe we would have enough room. I don't know. But it ain't gonna be easy. When I first came here, the infrastructure was questionable. I've seen incredible transformation. Value has increased. It was Yao Rat. It was Chinatown. Jim. 15 years ago, the infrastructure, at least up here, okay, well, I don't know about up there. I mean, I know the villages tend to be a little slower to progress than like Bangkok, but 15 years ago, the infrastructure was pretty damn good in Bangkok. It wasn't as good as it is now because it's been growing, but it was it was okay. Now, 25, 30 years ago, when I first got here, what infrastructure? Taxi from the airport was 250 baht on the meter, 70 for the suitcase, and 50 for the backpack. Well, what kind of a taxi did you take, Dowlo? They're charging you for the suitcases? No. The only one that usually does that is the big, like the SUVs. And did you use the taxis at the taxi stand? Okay, airport taxi, but you're not. It's not making sense. The taxi at the airport, or you got an airport taxi to take you back, like separate from all the taxis that are waiting in the lines for people to come out and get a taxi. That's probably why they charged you for the suitcase and the backpack. Because the only way that they charge you for the suitcase, not that it's a lot of money, is if you are riding with several people and you've got everything is full. You know, but if I come in there with one suitcase and a backpack, they don't charge me money. They don't charge me anything. And that's maybe just because it's just a regular old taxi. I don't know. But is that reasonable? I mean, even 370 to where you live would seem reasonable to me. Okay, food and daily expenses. Street food, as I have said in the past, is still cheap, but the prices have crept up. I mean, they're saying what used to be 40 baht, $1.10, is now 60 to 70 baht, $1.80 to $2. And I always use the haircut as a yardstick. Because I'm telling you, when I first got here, it was like 30 baht, 40 baht for a haircut. And you might get a shave out of it. I shaved myself back then all the time. I never had anybody shave me until later on. And then they bumped it up to 70 baht. And it was everywhere, it was 70 baht. Unless you went to some little, hoity-toity foreigner place that, gave you a massage or gave you a BJ, or maybe they're just, a place that is in the mall or somewhere that they just charge more money. And they charge the foreigner, they would charge them 400 or 500 baht. I had to get a ticket from the machine and go to the correspondent. Yeah, okay. So was it how many bags did you have? Just those 2 bags? And also, was it like an SUV? Because I've never been charged for my bags if I only had 2 bags. I don't know who told you that, or if you got a ticket that said you have to pay that. Maybe they've just started that. I don't know. I mean, I was at the airport, I don't know, two and a half months ago, something like that. You may need to pay a fee for luggage when taking a taxi from Suvarnabhumi or... Oh, it depends on the size of the bags. Yeah, and it says over 2. But if the bag is over 26 inches, they may charge you. They may charge you as much as 100 baht. But small bags like backpacks are not subject to a fee. So I don't know why you had to pay. Whatever. I mean, this is Thailand. Anyway. I'm sure you're not worried about the 120 baht. I wouldn't worry about it, but I would think about it the next time you took a taxi. Western food, forget about it. A burger and fries will run you anywhere from 300 baht to 500 baht. That's $8 to $14 in most places. Man, you go and get a burger now. I mean, I go get a burger from someplace. I'm lucky if I get fries and a burger and like a Coke or something for 290 baht. That's a halfway decent deal. Now you think about that, that's almost 10 bucks. How cheap is that? I know maybe you go to the United States and it's 15 bucks, but I can tell you a burger was not $10 in the United States before. It used to be like, I don't even want to tell you what it was. A lot cheaper. And then of course imported goods, cheese, beef, wine. They're luxury items. You stick to the Thai food. You don't pay for imports. You don't pay that much money. You don't pay as much. If you want to get some of the Western comforts, and sometimes I do, there are some things that we want. Some people, maybe they want Spam, and they're going to pay, $8, $9. Some people, they want other kind of foods. It might be peanut butter. They want Peter Pan peanut butter. And it's not that much, but it's a little bit more than if you were to buy some Thai brand. Well, it doesn't matter where you're going. None of that matters. It really doesn't matter. You only get charged for oversized bags. And, maybe if they're ripping you off or if you've got too many bags. Now, you came alone, Dowlo, so I don't understand why they charge you for the bags. They don't usually do that. So, I'm not saying you got ripped off, and like I said, the money is small, but it is what it is. Let's continue. So stick to the Thai stuff. If you want imports, sometimes I'll get some beef, sometimes I'll get cheese that's imported, stuff like that. Well, it's going to be expensive. Listen, you want wine, they have lowered the price and the tax on wine, but it is still a bit pricey. And, we're kind of lucky right now we're in a good spot because, these hotels that my wife has worked with, as a gift, they give a bottle of wine, or they give, little chocolates, or, some kind of, little pound cake or something. Hey there, Sammy, how you doing? They do all kinds of stuff like that, and so we have about 7 or 8 bottles of wine sitting on the table right now. And I don't want to drink every night, My wife reckons he wouldn't have charged me if I was with her. It's a 30-minute trip. My point is, why did he charge you at all if it wasn't already stated before you left? You just say, no, I'm not paying. I don't have to pay for the bags. You know what's right and what's wrong here. You don't have to pay for the bags. The only time you have to pay for the bags is if you're in an SUV and there's a lot of people, or you have an abundance of bags. That's the only time. I can't ever remember paying for my bags other than when my mother and my sister came to visit with their kids, and they had all kinds of bags. Oh, thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. So, that's the taxi dilemma. And the thing is listen, I've been at those taxi stands. I shit you not. I've been at the taxi stands. One time it was after I came back from Hong Kong. This is a couple years ago. Another time was when I came back from Vietnam, which was more recently. And I get in the taxi, we start driving up, and the guy's like, 350 baht. And I'm like, turn the meter on. He's like, no. I go, then drop me off right here. I want to leave. Oh, okay. I turn meter. He turned the meter on. Now, he didn't really do anything bad after that. And I could have been a dick about it. I just went, all right, whatever. He's just trying to make a buck. But, they know the laws. They know the rules. You don't have to pay. They will say if you pay for the bags, you will be told ahead of time. Anyway, healthcare costs. Public hospitals are still cheap, but not necessarily ideal for emergencies. That's here in Thailand. Private hospitals are excellent, but expensive. Expect to pay 3,000 to 5,000 baht for a basic visit. And I remember when I used to pay about 600 baht, like 20 bucks, not even 20 bucks for a visit. All right, Sammy. I mean, thank you, Sam. What do you spend on rent and daily expenses? Have you noticed prices going up? All right, there you go. Thank you. Welcome. So yeah, if you live here, have you noticed the increase in prices? Because I have. I mean, I can say that all day long. I can say the milk's gone up, bacon, forget about it. I used to get bacon, it was 217 baht. Brief 90-second intro to you and your channel, please. Welcome, I'm Scott. I am an American who's been living in Thailand for the past 30 years. I dare say I've forgotten more than some people know. But, yeah, now turn the elevator music on. And if you want to come and get your share of the ladies here, well, good luck. That's all I got to say. Good luck. It depends on what kind of lady you want. You want a lady of the evening, or you want like a regular lady? If you want a regular lady, you better take it easy. Better take a very laid-back approach. Don't even think about getting in their pants, because they know what you want. Yeah, if you want a regular lady, they know what you want, but you act like, no, I'm going home right now. Oh no, you don't want to stay? Stay where? Maybe I sleep on the couch. You'll come out in the middle of the night. Depends on how good they are and where you are in the relationship. But anyway, the next category here in this discussion is visa and immigration. Now, the prices have not went up in quite some time. Retirement visas used to be 400,000. Before that, they were 200,000. And it's been a number of years. I don't know when they switched it, but I remember I was here when they switched it from 400 to 800. And it used to be 40,000. And it was 40,000? Yeah, I think it was 40,000. And then the price per month, 65,000 now, when it was 40,000 before. But if you're married, it's 400,000 or 40,000 a month. The only thing I would say is that immigration is checking a little more aggressively. Yeah, that's all I would say. Especially on border runs and those kind of things, which now they are riskier. And the same goes for Vietnam. They're not really allowing that. You might get away with a few, but after that, the chances you're going to get flagged and you're going to have to figure out another way to get in. Now, Thailand does have a digital nomad visa, and quite honestly, I don't think it's a really great option. I don't care what anybody says, but okay, whatever. If you're working remotely, you're in a gray area. If you want an elite visa, it's expensive, but it lets you stay long term. I would say, if you're under 50 and you got, let's say you got a couple $100,000 stashed and you need a 10-year visa. Well, then get the elite visa if you're dying to live here. Why is it you must live here? Do it another way. Live in two places. Live here for, say, 3 to 6 months. Go to another country for 3 to 6 months, like Vietnam or something, then come back and just live that way until you're able to do it how you want to do it. You might like it that way. All these girls color their hair. I don't know why they do that. Blue hair, red hair. I don't know what color. I don't know what color red that is. They both have red hair, but they're different shades of red. You can also get the education visa, but that's a little bit harder to stay long term. And you can get like a media visa, you can get a business visa. But if you're going to stay here long term and you really want to be able to stay here and not have to worry too much, then you need some kind of a plan, because they don't play around. Immigration ain't playing around anymore. So in that regard, then it is a little more difficult. But they don't look at me, they don't look at a lot of my friends. Everything is the same for us. It's no more difficult or easy. It's not easier, but it sure isn't more difficult. What is this? Problem with 3 to 6 months at a time is it's harder to get cheaper accommodation. Yeah, you may need to find some place and you just get it if you can for a whole year. You get you get it for a year and you pay for it for a year. So the time that you're not there, you're paying for it, but you got all your stuff there. If you got enough money, but if you had enough money, maybe you'd get an elite visa. I don't know. There's no real answer. That's the thing. It used to be able to, there's all these loopholes. There are a few loopholes now, but most of the time it's a lot more difficult to use them. Let's see here. There are also, I'd like to know how is everybody else's visa situation. I know Dowlo's. Does anybody have a struggle with immigration here? Because I'm curious about that. Because I don't have a struggle. But then, you got to come up with the money. If you got the money, it's not a problem. As long as you're not spending that money that's in the bank there, you just keep it there for like forever. And if you need to use it, and you go, okay, well, next month I'll put the money back. I've got the money in America. I'll transfer some more money over. You can do that. But the long and short of it is money talks and BS walks, especially here in Thailand. They don't care how much you have on your credit card. They care how much money do you have in the bank. That's what they want to know. All right, so let's say you've got your visa and you have a comfortable budget. How is life in Thailand in 2025? To me, it's pretty good, although there is the traffic and there is the pollution, not just air pollution. Bangkok, air quality. Chiang Mai, forget it during burning season, which is now to about April. The coastal towns are better, but the infrastructure is weaker. If clean air is a priority for you, Thailand might not be your best bet. Clean air, and there's noise pollution, air pollution, water pollution, ground pollution. Pollution is a big problem in Thailand. And I didn't know that when I first moved here. I didn't really see that. Things were different back then. Let me see something here. I want to see something. Let me see here. Okay. In 1995, Thailand had about 7 million tourists. In 2019, they had about 40 million tourists. That's a 6-time increase in tourism over 24 years, driven by better infrastructure, visa policies, and Thailand's growing global appeal as a travel destination. Well, it's not growing for like the last year. It's been growing for years. Hey, Cyrus. It's been growing for quite some time. Let's see here. All right. What's the deal here? All right, so in the year 2000, 9.58 million tourists compared to 2024, 35.5 million tourists. So back when I first came over here, tourism was not what it is now. Now you go to a tourist place, you go to Pattaya, you go to Phuket, you go to Chiang Mai, you go to some of these places, Hua Hin, I dare say Prachuap now. You go to some of these places, and there's a huge number of tourists in the area. Huge. And personally, I don't want to go somewhere and I've got nothing against Chinese. I don't want Chinese all around me. I don't want Indians all around me. I don't want any kind of tourist all around me. I don't care if they're Burmese, American, British, whatever. Why do I want to be in a place like that? I wouldn't come here if I want to just be surrounded by tourists. Now, I understand once in a while you may run into that, but not all the time. And that's what you're going to get a lot of the time. Now, you're going to get tourists everywhere. The significant growth reflects Thailand's ongoing appeal as a tourist destination, bolstered by the rich culture heritage. Oh yes, we always talk about the rich cultural heritage, natural beauty, and continuous efforts to enhance tourism infrastructure. I would say that Maya Bay, they did a pretty good job on it, but I mean, like, that place was pretty much ruined, and now it's coming back. But you know, I don't want to go there. I got no desire to go there just because it was in the movie. I don't care. Now, I did go to James Bond Island in 1995, and I have never gone back on a tour. I've been by there, but that's about it. Thank you very much there, Paul. Appreciate that. Also went to Philippines and Japan. Can I give him a thumbs up? No, I can't. Well, thank you anyway. Choke day to you, Paul. Appreciate it. Must be 10 o'clock because everybody is now coming in. Farang. They have a farang. One farang, that's it. That is it. Not many people coming in here, but it is a Sunday. Also went to the Philippines and Japan. I like Japan a lot. The Philippines, I like the Philippines a lot too, but I don't like it enough to go back. You know. Let me see here. Where are my... What happened to my little thing here? Oh. Now, we're talking about the quality of life. Obviously, the transportation and infrastructure in Bangkok is solid, but it is expanding somewhat slowly. It is quite good. Now, taxis and Grab are convenient, but from what I'm reading, it says they're expensive now. I don't really think that taxis are all that expensive. Now Grab, it depends. I always look for they have offers. You get 15% off, you get 50 baht off, whatever it might be. I always look for that kind of stuff. And I would say, you know, like we came back in the taxi and it was 135 baht. When we went in the Grab, it was like 160 baht. So it was 25 baht more, but they came to our door, they picked us up, and it was Grab, so we had a record of it. Outside big cities, unless you really know your way around, kind of like I do, and even me, it can be a problem. Getting around can be a little bit difficult. You may need a motorbike or a car. At least you need to know, you need to be able to speak some Thai so that you can ask people, hey, how can I get from here to there? And they'll say, oh, well, you got to go to the bus. How far is the bus station? Oh, you take a motorbike. It's going to cost you 40 baht. Okay. You can do that, right? It's pretty easy. If you're moving here, get comfortable with motorcycles or prepare for some Grab bills. I don't think the Grab bills are all that much. Sometimes we send the kids somewhere and we go, listen, just take a Grab, and we put it on our phones and they go that way. You know, I don't really think that that's a big deal. You got to get around somehow. Now, I think about me buying a motorcycle because I don't want to ride on some piece of shit. And, you know, what I have to remember is that sometimes if I see the motorcycle and it really looks like a real turd, I need to just go, no, you know what? I want the other guy to take me because motorcycle, you know, I say I want a better motorcycle. Something like that. That can help. But I've thought about many times about getting a motorcycle and or a car here. And we've come close a couple times, just like with houses. But you know what? I don't need it. Not here. And even when I go out, when I go places and I take maybe I take the Sky Train, I go down to a bus station, or I take the boat and a motorcycle, I go to the bus station. I get to the bus station. Okay, this bus goes to this place. Okay, great. I go there, and then from there you got to take a tuk-tuk or a motorbike taxi, and you get into the city or whatever, and there you are. It's possible, but you need to know your way around. And as I've said way too many times already, it helps if you can speak some Thai. Because if you don't speak any Thai, you're going to be going, amigo, you're going to end up like that other guy the other day, where he ended up going to the north of Thailand instead of going to the south of Thailand. He wanted to go to, I think, Koh Phangan, and instead he ended up like near Chiang Mai. All because he couldn't speak the language. You know, and he wasn't smart enough to look online and then just show him, hey, I want to go to this place. So, anyway. Old school expats are disappearing here in Thailand. I'd say a lot of them are dying out, and the new wave of digital nomads and influencers are here. And to be quite honest, I really don't know any of these new wave digital nomads. Whether there's some guy who's like, oh, I've been here for 2 months. Yeah, I've been here for a year. I don't know any of these guys, and they're on YouTube or whatever. Some of them are doing very well, you know. I don't know any of them. I just don't, and I don't really care. Because what I do on this channel, whether it's sitting in front of the camera, going somewhere, it doesn't really matter. You know? It doesn't matter to me. I'll do whatever I want, whether I'm around them or not. I'm not going to go out partying every night with them and stuff. I mean, I had that, you know, when I was younger, in my day. What is this? Where you are, a car is unnecessary. It is an ordeal. As soon as I exit the toll road, drive to the mall. The rest of the trip is no problem. Well, that's, you know, like I said, if you got to get a car, you got to get a car. You want a motorcycle, you get a motorcycle. Whatever it is you want. If you need it, you got to get it, you know. But I know that in some places, it's just not necessary. Like, you know, you go to Hua Hin, you go to Prachuap Khiri Khan, the city. It's not necessary. You don't need it. You're inside of Chiang Mai. You don't need it. Now, you may have to pay, if you're with your wife and kids like we are sometimes, or just my wife, we get a van. We get a car. We've had ladies take us to places. Where was that place that we went to? I think it was in Chiang Mai. The lady took us all the way. Yeah, it was in Chiang Mai. She took us on. We got a tour. My wife got a tour, and she told her where to go, and she paid a certain amount or whatever. And then she told the lady, okay, how much is it? And in Phuket. Now, but I remember we were in Phuket. And she asked the lady, can you take me here? Can you take me there? Yes. The lady took her all around. She just paid a. That's all you do. You just pay a little money. That's what it all comes down to. I know you may need, perseverance and smarts and all these other things when you're here. But the bottom line is, if you got money, you can get just about anything done. If I wanted, I could go up to somebody here in the mall. Somebody's getting into a car. I could go, oh, excuse me, I really need to get to this place. I'll give you 2,000 baht if you take me there. It'll take you 30 minutes. Oh, okay. Maybe they'll say no, maybe they'll say yes. But if you got the money, that's what talks. All right, so I guess the next question is, what do you love and hate about life in Thailand right now? I'll tell you, I love the slow pace. I love the slow pace. I love the fact that you can get all kinds of things at almost any time of the day or night. I love that. And, there's a lot more. I love the people. They're very nice most of the time. When you need to go somewhere, you just be nice to them. They're nice to you. I don't think I've ever, unless the guy was crazy, and I've had a couple incidents with some crazy people over 30 years. And, most of the time I just ignore them. They're not going to do anything. Most of them are not going to do anything. So I love that. The things I hate, pollution, traffic, some of the bureaucracy sometimes can be a little bit irritating or frustrating, but I can get over that. So, that's what I'm asking. I have a Thai driver's license, and I will not drive between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. in Bangkok. Yeah, I wouldn't drive in Bangkok. That's why I don't buy a car, and that's why, because I don't want to drive. I don't want the hassle of sitting in. I'm telling you, I know myself. If I'm sitting in a taxi for more than about 20 or 30 minutes, especially if I'm by myself, a lot of time, I just lean up against the window and I drift off, and I'm in a semi-conscious state. Now, if I'm driving a car, I'd have to be like constantly looking where I'm going, constantly thinking, there goes the car right now. Oh, I got to speed up. Oh, I got to slow. Oh, I got to speed up. Oh, I got to slow down. I don't want that. I look at it, and I know people don't think the same way. I look at it like, if I need a chauffeur, I just call them up. They come and pick me up. Anytime I need a chauffeur, I just grab my phone, punch in the information, and I get a car shows up. I can have a really nice car show up. I can have a limousine show up, or I can have a taxi show up. Whatever I want, I can have show up. And that's the beauty of it. Now, some people think, yeah, but you can't go where you want, when you want. You've always got to wait for a few minutes. Big deal. So I wait for 5 or 10 minutes. I don't have to pay for maintenance on a car. I don't have to pay the car payment. I don't have to pay a large amount up front for a car. I don't have to pay for insurance. I don't have to do any of that. And if I want to go somewhere else listen, we go down to Surat, we go down to Suratani. I mean, it's a piece of cake, man. We go to the train station, we go to the airport, wherever we are, really makes no difference. It doesn't really matter. Because we always have somebody picking us up or taking us. You know, oh, look at this. We have a little doggy over here. I don't understand, but you know, what they allow. Now, you see, this girl right here, she has been working in the grocery store. She's got the little girl there. She's been working in the grocery store. She has to be there for at least 5-6 years. Because she's been there the whole time I've been there. Now, sometimes she brings her kid in. But man, that girl just works and works and works. She says hello, boom, you're gone, that's it. You know, and I love that. She's always working. What they do with these dogs, though, is they give these people these little carts. And they go, oh, you brought a dog today? Okay, put him in the cart. They put him in the cart. And the dog goes around, and the dog is checking everything. It's pretty funny. Yeah, everybody says that about women. Oh, they're so hot, and they're so this, and they're so that. I mean, Thai women can be fun, you know, but that's the same anywhere. Really. I would dare say they're just like women anywhere in the world, you know. Now, I understand they may be more feminine. They may not have the same attitude. They're sweet. I understand all that. You know, I have been here for a while. I do know about the women a little bit. But what I always say is they're just the icing on the cake, man. They're not the cake, and they're not a reason to stay here. You know, they're not a reason to stay here. If you're not going to marry one, you know, you got some girl, she's, oh, you know, you like her, you have great sex together, you know, but you don't see the relationship going anywhere, you know, yeah, I don't know, she just doesn't have the same mindset or the right this or the right that. That's what I mean. You know, what do you want to be with them forever for? So if you're going to go home and you don't want to bring them with you, then, you know, like I said, they're the icing on the cake. It's nice when you go home at night and you have a woman next to you, keeping you warm, keeping you, you know, cozy, being very friendly to you. And that's nice, of course, you know. But, like, is it a reason to stay here? No, if you get married, like I did, then yeah, maybe it is. For me, the reason that I stay here, that we stay here, is because going back home, first of all, the cost of living would be 5 times what it is here. And we would make probably less. I don't know. It would be a little bit, I think it would be harder, and then I would have to deal with the culture and the culture shock to me, the culture shock to my wife, to my kids. Thai women have less money expectation from their man. That is the difference between Thai women and Western women. I don't know that that's the truth, to be honest. You think your girl doesn't want a car? You think your girl doesn't want a house? I mean, yeah, maybe you can get a house and it's, you know, cost you $25,000 or something, $40,000, whatever. But these women here, man, if you get one, I know because I'm married to one who is a, what you would call like a middle-class woman. They have expectations, they have dreams, they have things that they want. And I'm not saying it's like, if I don't get a car, I'm going to be pissed off if I don't get a Benz. That's not what they say. But doesn't mean they don't want a car. They may want a car, and they may go, okay, well, let me get this one. Let me get this Honda Civic or whatever. This is nice, you know. But then if they start to make a little more money, they may go, oh, can I? Listen, my wife has hit me up and said, you know, I've been thinking maybe I should buy a Rolex. And I went, honey, you buy a Rolex, it's going to cost you like between $300,000 and $500,000 for a cheap one. And you're going to be in line to get one. I bought her a watch, and it was about, I think it was 20,000 baht. Was it Omega? No, I don't even think it was an Omega. I don't remember. I don't know. I could look. It was definitely wasn't an Omega, because you're not going to get an Omega for 20,000 baht. You get a Swatch Omega, but not an Omega. You know, so she wears her watch that she has now, because I'm like, think about what you could do with all that money. Do you really want that watch? You know, what I would say is save up for the watch, then save the exact amount again. Then when you have double what you need, okay, then you can buy it. No, it's not a Timex. It's a brand watch. It's nice. Well, I prefer having the vehicles even from here. I can get to pretty much anywhere else in Thailand without inconveniencing myself very much. Using other options besides driving myself. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a car. I've been in situations here where I had a car available to me. I had a driver at one point whenever I needed it. It wasn't every day. You're not going to get a real Omega. No. It might be a Seiko. That might be what it is. But yeah, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get an Omega for $1,000. 30 years ago, $2,000 for an Omega was a good price, because I had one. That was the worst thing. It was when I had my fall, and I fell from the 4th floor in a fire. The Omega was on my wrist and went down, boom. And the band there was a problem with it that I was getting fixed. And it was that the band would pop off. So the band popped off when I hit the deck. The watch came off. I'm knocked out. I don't know where I am. All I remember is people dragging me, but I don't remember anything other than that. When I woke up after I was in a coma for 4 days, and when I woke up, I was like, hey, where's my watch? My watch is gone. I was pissed off because I saved up and I paid that thing on layaway to the jeweler to get that watch, and I never got it back. And you know, bums me out a little bit. It was a James Bond, I think it was a Seamaster James Bond watch. It was nice, man, but you know, it is what it is. It's gone now. Anyway, all right, let me go on. I'm dilly-dallying around here. Are there better alternatives to Thailand? Well, yes, there are. Even with Thailand not being as cheap as it used to be, maybe you want to consider somewhere else. Maybe you want to consider Cambodia, which is a little cheaper, but the visas are easier to get. It's a little less developed, weaker health care. Yeah. Vietnam, which is very affordable. Depending on where you are it's quite affordable. But the visa situation, it's not quite as straightforward. Maybe you get an agent, they can help you out. Malaysia, okay, more developed for the long term, but it's definitely more expensive. You could go to Ecuador, you could go to Portugal. I always say Ecuador and Portugal because I know those, I've been there, and I really like those places. I really liked Portugal a lot. And what I really liked is that anytime I went out and got a coffee, it was like 50 cents. I was like, son of a bitch, man. I got like a coin here. Here you go, buddy. And that was it. Had some great coffee there, great wine. Also in Ecuador, they had great wine. And I really loved Ecuador too. You could go to Costa Rica. You can go to Mexico. You can go in Europe if you want. There's a lot of places you can go, especially if you have money. If I were starting today, I would still consider Thailand, although I don't think that I would come here. I don't know. But I'd also take a serious look at, for me, Portugal and Ecuador. Those are the two other places that I would think about. If you had to move today, where would you go? Well, it was when I went there a year and a half ago. The Garmin diving watch is good at $2,000. I'm not buying a Garmin diving watch. And I don't really care about Garmin Pay either. That doesn't give me a Woody. I don't care. I can pay for everything very easily here. I mean, really, I pay for everything easy here. I use the QR code. I got a platinum Amex card. I got cards from back home. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, listen, I know a lot of people consider Cambodia. My friend moved there. He loves it. I've been there many, many times. I've lost track. I know it's over 50 that I've been there. And sometimes I've been there for 2 weeks, 1 week, a month, and I just cannot see myself moving there. I don't know why. Even Ecuador, maybe, but I might be bored. Portugal, I can kind of see because I could take off and go places and do lots of things. And I'm not that enamored by South America, you know. All right, a little bit, but, and the thing is, this is very close to America. That's another big one, but. What is FTW? I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what FTW means. For the win. I wouldn't go to Suwon. Not for me. No. No way. I mean, we have a house in Suratani, and I love where we are. We are definitely not right near the beach, which kind of disappoints me. However, we are in an area that there are not many people around. I mean, the road is semi-dirt and paved. Yeah, okay, I understand, yeah. I mean, you know, people have different reasons for wanting to go different places. And I'm not saying Suwon's not a nice place. For me, I don't think I would go there. I wouldn't want to be there, you know, to live there. You know, I've lived up in Isan before, and I've been to pretty much everywhere. I don't know about everywhere, but I've been to a lot of places in Isan, and I liked it. It was great, but I have a family, I have a wife, I have kids. And quite honestly, that's not the kind of place that I want to live. Now, Suratani, we have a house there. Okay, it's in the you could say it's in the jungle. But I wouldn't mind just having that house and then having a little bungalow, little rinky-dink place down near the beach somewhere. Maybe you're paying 5,000, 10,000 baht a month. That would be fine. And so we could go there anytime we want. Beaches and pools are overrated. I had access to both a beautiful beach and beautiful pool and hardly used them after a few months. That's you. I like hanging out by the beach. To me, they're not overrated. Swimming pool is nice. We had a swimming pool in Ecuador. We used it almost every day. We had a beach 3 minutes away in Ecuador. I mean, we used it almost every single day. Every morning, just about every morning, we would go swimming. Every afternoon, we would go down and we would go swimming in the ocean. So, you know, it's about personal preference, and that's really what it is. My wife likes mountains. Now, would I really want to go live in Chiang Mai? No, I told her she wanted to buy a house in Chiang Mai. We could have bought a really nice house for the same amount we were going to pay here. It would have been vastly improved, and a vast improvement from down here. And I was like, no, until they get the burning season squared away, until they get everything taken care of, I don't want to move there. I'm like, I don't know what you don't understand. And, you know, it is the mountains. It's not my cup of tea. And she understands. But that's why she likes to go there sometimes. But now she's starting to get into the mode where she only really wants to go to Suratani. And she's told me, go, 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 go. I may go in another week. I don't know. What is it, a week? 3 days. I may go in another 3-4 days. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. For me, I got to go somewhere where there's not much pollution. There is very, very little pollution in the house where we live in the south. There's stuff like construction going on. Okay, I understand that. But, you know, like paper, garbage, things like that, there's not much of it. And I like that. That's a place where I would get a motorcycle. We could go around places. We could go to different places. I know some people in the area. They know me every time I come. Hey, where's your son? Oh, he didn't come this time. Oh, too bad. You know. So, anyway, let's see here. What do I have? What more do I have? Yeah, I asked, if you wanted to move somewhere today, where would you go? Would you come to Thailand? Because I'll tell you something. After being in Ecuador, now, I am not Scot and American in Ecuador. I'm not Scot and American in Portugal. I would say I didn't get nearly as many views as I do on my Thai videos, and that's the thing. Even with all kinds of people vlogging from Thailand, even new people who they don't stay here, that, you know, after a couple months, oh, I'm taking off. You know, they take off and they, you know, maybe you never hear from them again in this part of the world. You know, there's a lot of places you can go, but I would say pick and choose your place carefully. And if you have the ability to travel a little bit, I would say go and pick your place. Stay there for a little while. Pick your place. I used to say, don't move to Thailand unless you've been here for at least 6 months. You've spent that much time here looking around. Because there's nothing that listen, you can listen to me. You can get all kinds of information. It's just info coming from me. It may or may not be right for you. I like to think I'm right almost all the time, but guess what? I'm probably not. But if you come here yourself, you're on the ground. You can go, oh, what Scott said about this is right. Oh, you know what? I don't find that to be the case. You know, so that's something else. Vietnam is a paradise to retire in. I'm only in America to sell my house or rent my house so I can go back to Vietnam. Listen, the same thing goes with Thailand. I mean, yeah, in Vietnam, okay, it's a little bit cheaper. Sure. You know, I just came back from Da Nang and I found it to be very cheap. I really liked Da Nang. Did I like it enough to get there? I liked Hoi An a little bit better, to be honest. But I don't know. Would I go to either one of those? I'd have to make a couple of trips. I don't think I could decide in one trip, 2 trips. And, you know, I always think, would I want to go here and bring my family? And although we were all there, we all went, and we liked it, and most of the places were pretty cheap. There was a couple of places. We went to one place and it was like it was like $15 for a meal, like a soup, maybe a really good soup or something like that. I mean, you know. Yeah. Well, that's why I say to people, If you want to go to Phuket, I mean Phuket or Pattaya, especially Pattaya. If you want to go to Pattaya, I understand you wanting to go there 1 or 2 times. Maybe you're the kind of guy you just go, oh, you know, I'm going to go there, I'm going to get drunk, I'm going to have some fun, I'm going to blow a bunch of money. It's really not anything. It's not like a scouting mission. Okay, I can understand that, although I think maybe after a week, you'd be tired of it. Maybe 2 weeks for some people. Some people, you know, they don't ever get any girls. They come to Thailand, oh my God, it only cost me this much. And then before they know it, they go, oh shit, I spent $3,000. But I always say, don't move to Thailand. I mean, to Pattaya in Thailand right when you get here. Don't do that. Go look around. Go find some other cities. See where else you can go. There are a lot of cities here. Listen, I like Nakhon Phanom. I really like that place. Great little city. Would I move there? Probably not, because it's on the Mekong and because I don't really want to be in that kind of environment. I don't mean a bad environment. It was really nice. I like visiting there. I would go there again. Same thing with Bangkok. I would go there again. I don't think I would move there. It's just too far out and it's by the river, and that doesn't make me get excited. I don't get excited because the Mekong is there. Oh my God. No. I'd get excited if I'm, what was the one guy said here about the southern turquoise places like Jomtien. Yeah, Jomtien and Hua Hin are not good enough. I've been saying Hua Hin hasn't been good enough for 3 years. There's too much traffic, too many tourists, and sometimes there's air pollution. Okay, sometimes I can get over that, you know, but Phuket is not a great place to go and retire. I lived in Phuket for a year, about a year. I lived there, and you know, I had a room that somebody paid for. I didn't have to pay, and then I got a salary, and I had fun there. But I had to watch my money. At that time, I was doing all right, but I wasn't doing as good as I have done. And it's just not my kind of place. I don't want to be around the bar scene every minute of every day. And I don't want to be in the scene where everybody who sees you just goes, can you speak Thai? I don't want to be in that kind of an environment all the time. Now I just walk up to people, I start speaking Thai to them. I don't have to be asked. I don't have to, I don't want any of that. I know it sounds maybe a bit, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say, it's not presumptuous, but that's not the word, but it's similar. Koh Chang when? Where? To the east or to the south? There are 2 Koh Changs. Because Koh Chang to the east, I would say, I have a friend who lives there, who's Canadian, and I would say I wouldn't want to live there. Too many goddamn tourists. Now, if you go to Koh Chang in the south, there are tourists that come and go, but there's not that many people, not that many tourists. It's a really nice place in the south. That is the place that I really love. That was one place. I love there. I love Koh Kut. There's a lot of places I like. But now, to me, I've narrowed it down a little bit. You know, I like the south. The south, to me, is the place to go. The people don't dick you around. They don't play games with you. You know, and if you speak Thai to them and you're nice to them, they're nice to you. And they're not going to just smile at you because, oh, will you give me your money? You know, they're not going to do that. So, all right, let's see here. So yeah, I mean, would I still come to Thailand now? Is it still worth moving here? I would say yes, it is. But I would say bring a little more money than you think you'll spend. If you think it's going to be really cheap here, you know, you might be surprised. I mean, you come here, you can get a coffee here for anywhere from about, it just depends, but usually $1 to $4 or $5 or $6. I mean, you go to Starbucks, it might cost you $6, $7 for something to drink. That's it, for a drink. To me, that's, I mean, listen, I used to be able to go out with a 20, and I could eat really good and have all kinds of good stuff to drink, and, you know, now it's not really, I mean, you know, that you can do that here. But listen, there's a place I wanted to take my wife for her birthday, and I'm looking at it and I go, fuck, man, this place is going to cost, the minimum it will cost me is about 2,500 baht. The maximum is about 4,000. And I'm like, you know, now, if it cost me 4,000 baht, that's about $125, $120, something like that. Maybe in the US, that's normal to blow that. But here, I don't think it's normal. Not for me. I mean, you know, normal for me is going to Fuji or Fam Time or something like that. For 4 people, you can eat for, you know, 2,000 baht. Well, the dime a dozen newbie vloggers have made Thailand oversaturated and kind of lame. Yeah, I would agree. Thailand is about 60% of your cost living in America. Well, I think the things that are cheaper or cheap or around the same price, yes, that may be true. I think the things that are not, like if you want to buy a car, forget about it. You want to buy wine, forget about it. Wine's expensive. You want to buy really good cheese, fucking A, it's expensive. As expensive as you might pay in the US. And it depends on where you are in the US. All right, listen, before I forget, before I sign off here in another 10, 15 minutes, remember to click the like button. I'd appreciate that. That'd be real good if you could do that. That supposedly helps. I don't know if it does or not. I think it's the topic that really helps the most. Do me a favor and smash the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the live stream if you can, and look down in the description. There's a number of ways you can show the love: the super chat, the Cash App, you know, buy me a coffee, Patreon. There's all kinds of things. Scott has to live where his wife works, dependent on her job. Well, that's not necessarily true, but I don't think that it would be smart to move when she's worked her way up the ladder and she's done quite well for herself. Why would we leave when between her and I, we make quite a bit of money? And where are we going to go? She doesn't have a job anywhere else. She has a job here. I pay the same for Aussie wines and South African wines as when I buy them in America. Okay, so how is it cheaper? It's not cheaper. Listen, we don't have what I would call a luxury lifestyle. Now, sometimes we do have a very good lifestyle. I mean, honestly. But there are times that we don't. I mean, you know, we don't live that way. We don't live where we got to go out and buy everything's designer. And my wife, man, she'll still buy something online and it'll be, oh, that cost me 299 baht. Oh, that cost me 47 baht, or, you know, whatever. But we're not like the kind who goes out and shops, oh, well, we've got to buy this, it's so expensive and so good. It's whatever the price is, if it's a good value. That's how I think. And it's pretty funny that somebody said, I have to live here. Listen, I live here because I'm married. It has nothing to do with the price, necessarily. It has to do with what's the right decision, what's smart. And to me, giving up a job where you make great money and you've worked for a long time to get to is not the right move. Because now I'm retired. I got money coming in. I'm fine. But between both of us, we're very fine. We do all right, you know. The YouTube stuff is all gravy. It's stuff that finances my trips. That's pretty much what it is, because trips can get expensive. And I've made so many trips in the years that I've been on YouTube. I mean, I have done literally 100 trips. And it costs money every time you go somewhere. I don't care where you go. We did that around the world trip. Man, that cost some big money. That was a hell of a lot more than I wanted to spend. How much does a Tesla cost here? It starts out 2024 Model 3 starting price of about 1.6 million baht, which is what? It's about almost 47,500. The wines might not be cheaper, but the rent, yeah, okay, the rents are cheaper. And the food is not a quarter of the price in the West. I don't believe that. They all average out to be 40% cheaper. Because they make your truck there, yeah, okay, the truck, yeah. Yeah, okay, but people here make a lot less money. That's the thing. In Thailand, a Ford Mustang starts at about 3.8 million baht and goes all the way up to about 5 million baht. Which is almost $150,000. So a Mustang can cost below 130, it can cost maybe 120, and it goes all the way up to about 150. But as far as the food being cheaper, okay, yeah, but you're saying it's 40%. It's not 40%. I can tell you that. I can show you the price. Walk down to McDonald's and show you the price. Now you want a double cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke or whatever, a shake, and it's like 300 baht. So it may be, you know, double the price, a little more than double the price. You know, it depends on what you're talking about. I mean, you're saying food is a quarter of the price. It's not a quarter of the price. I don't even care if it's Thai chicken or whatever it is. It's not a quarter of the price. That's just, I don't believe that. Now, it might average out. I don't know, but it average. I'm not saying 40% is right or wrong, but it's not going to be more than. But you get something like, get avocados here. Okay, Thai avocados, you might get 5 of them for 100 baht. But they suck. They're terrible. To me, they're horrible. They have no flavor. They don't taste good. So you got to get some from New Zealand or somewhere else. And then they're like $3 each. And in the past, the avocados used to be much cheaper in the U.S. Now I think the price is higher. I don't know exactly what it was. So you got to think about these things. Obviously, the cost of living here is much less than in the U.S. Now, hopefully, Trump will fix that a little bit, and they'll scale back some of the prices, and things will work out. I don't know, but that may happen. That's what people are hoping. Inflation will not be what it was. It will drop down, and you will get better prices. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't generally at Costco. Well, you can get a barbecued chicken. You can get a full barbecue chicken. It's the whole chicken, and it used to be that it was 100 baht. Now I think it's 150 baht, which is like $4. $4 and some change. But that's a barbecued chicken. I don't know how they do it. They must have a massive amount of chickens, because that's the only way they could do it. Because most people, when they sell a chicken from their farm, it's going to be at least about $5 for the chicken. 15 bucks, I'm sorry. So really, when you think about it as it's about 500 baht for one chicken when you buy it from the farm. They're selling it for 150 baht. I don't know, I think the argument is kind of irrelevant. It doesn't really matter, because what you pay here is what you pay here. With counting out. Well, it's not 100 baht anymore, Jim. Not here, at least in Bangkok. It's got to be at least 120. I don't know, because I used to buy it all the time. I don't buy it anymore. I don't know why. Some of them are really, really good, and some of them are okay. Usually, counting out is 5 or 10 baht for one package. Two is usually 20 baht, 10 or 20 baht. My kid goes out and buys counting out all the time. He always buys it for breakfast. He gets a little chicken for 20, 30 baht. He gets himself a little pork, a little chicken, and either or, and he gets some counting out. So, you know. Obviously, you know, if you're buying in quantity, you can get stuff at a lower price. I mean, I don't do that shit most of the time. To be honest, I don't go to Macro. I know Jono goes to Macro. I don't usually go to Macro. Almost never do I go to Macro. Almost never do I go to Lotus. The reason is because I like it here at Fresh Mart. And this place is a little more expensive than some places. I know if I go down to the market, okay, I'm going to buy eggs, and the eggs are, and you can get smaller eggs at, say, 42 baht for 10, or you get the bigger eggs, and they're 50 baht for 10. So, you know, it's really about what you want to pay and where you're going to go. And now, it doesn't matter to me to walk down the way here and go down to the market. It doesn't mean much, because it's a 5-minute walk. I walk down there and I get vegetables. I can get some tomatoes, 10 baht, 20 baht. I get cucumbers, 10 baht, 20 baht. You get them from the grocery here, and they're going to be 50 or 60 baht. Get celery here. Jono knows about this because we were talking about it. You get celery. You get some chintzy ass celery, and it's going to be 120 baht. You get some good celery, it might be 180, 200 baht for a, you know. And the only reason I get celery is because I put peanut butter on it. Cooking at home is not half the price. Cooking at home is almost as much in Thailand as it is in the U.S. It's eating out that is cheaper. Listen, if you cook out at home, I figured it out. It's not all that much less, if it's less. Sometimes it will cost you more depending on what you're buying. If I buy gnocchi is 119 baht, say 120 baht for one package. That package will barely feed, it'll feed about 1.5 persons. So we always buy 2 packages. That's 240 baht. 240 baht plus the cheese, plus a little sauce. All right, so let's say that it's 260 baht. That's divided, let's say it's, let me see here, 270 baht. That's 90 baht a person for a little bowl of gnocchi. It's not a huge bowl. For a little guy, 125-pound guy or a woman, it might fill them up. It might not fill them up. 1 liter is, yeah, okay, well, 60 baht. Jim, you got to know where to look, man. Come on. They got gnocchi all day long there. And milk is 100 baht for 2 liters. It's 220 baht for, I think it's 5 liters. So if you buy 5 liters of milk, which is really not all that much, that'll last us for a couple of days. Believe me, I spend a shitload on food. Most of the time, what I spend is money on food. I don't spend money going shopping for, oh, I want to buy these clothes, I want to buy these new shoes. I mean, I have everything I need pretty much, but if I want to spend more, then, you know, yeah, I agree with that. Generally, the street food is cheaper. Now, you may not get the quantity that you'll get at home. I mean, if I want to cook fried rice with, I don't know, a hot dog in it, a hot dog, an egg, that kind of thing, all right, you know, you may come out around the same. I don't know. There are several people on YouTube that have made videos on how cooking at home in Thailand, you may as well be cooking in the United States. Well, I don't know if you guys remember, and I get all kinds of shit from different people for all kinds of things, but I've done many grocery lists when I bring home groceries. And I mean, we have all kinds of things. And the other thing is, do you really want to eat street food every minute of every freaking day? I don't. I've been here 30 fucking years. I don't want to eat Thai food every meal. Why would I want to? I love Italian food. I don't want to eat it every meal. I love Vietnamese food. I don't want to eat it every meal. Right? I mean, I love Greek food. I don't want to eat it every meal. Well, 4 may be cheaper, yes. But why would I eat street food? This is what people don't understand. You're going to eat street food for years at a time and you're never going to eat anything else? Good luck with that. Really, good luck. You're going to need it. I brought home groceries and showed exactly how much everything costs. And I would say some of the things that I bring home are close to the price in the US. Some of the prices might be more because they're imported, but the Thai goods are generally a little bit less. And the Thai goods that like I get from eggs are not going up. I don't know why you say that. They're not going up. You know, watch the guy make beef tacos and chicken nachos. It was over $40 to make that in Rayong at home. Well, I mean, you know, tacos and nachos, the tacos themselves are, if you want like 6 tacos, they're not all that much. They might be 230 baht or something like that. Depends. It might be 99 baht. If you want nachos, you got to pay for that. Then you want all the sauce and all the ingredients. It's all going to cost more money. Eggs here are not going up in price. We don't have any problems with eggs here. Like I said, eggs are between about, if you really want, you can get them for 40 to 50 baht per 10 eggs. And if you go in the grocery, you're going to get 10 to 12 eggs, and they're going to cost you 70 to about 90 or 100 baht, which is like $2.50. So that's, you know, that's the cost of living thing here. Yes, it is cheaper. And it's cheaper here, and that's why if we're making a salaries, and we're making an income that is equal to a salary that's in the United States and that is decent in the United States. And listen, anything under $100,000 a year in the US, if you're living in a big city, is really barely decent. But if that's what we make, we'll say that's what we make. But just for an example, we live a lot better here than we do in the United States. You're going to live a lot better here for less. And that's why the value is still quite good. And I would still say to some people, you should think about coming here, because I don't think that the traffic is going to get worse here, and I don't think that the pollution will get worse here. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Grab and taxi cheaper in Thailand than Uber in the US. Well, Uber used to be in Thailand. They got bought out by Grab. And they're not all that expensive, but they are more expensive than just taking a taxi off the street. But they're not that expensive, and that's why I use their offers. They always have offers. I got the Grab program. Every year you pay 99 baht and you get a bunch of money and a bunch of things discounted, and you get free food, or you get, free delivery, or whatever it is, and it's worth the money. I think I've saved like 1,000 baht in about 4 or 5 months. I've saved like 1,000 baht just paying that 99 baht. Grab is 10% of Uber in the US. Well, I don't know about that here. I don't think Grab is 10% of what it is in the US. I don't know. I'm not sure, because I don't really know what it is in the US. What I will say is that when I was in the US, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I went home and I had to get a car to come from the airport, to pick me up from the airport. And that car was to go to my house was $100 plus tip. My mother said, give the guy a $20 tip. I said, no. It was $120 just to get from the airport. He said making the tacos is going to cost as much as he would have paid at a Mexican place near for him. Yeah, I mean, listen, I can get stuff down by Jono's. There's a place there. I love that place. It's very good. I can get stuff there for 200 baht, just me. All day long. Mobile phone plans and internet cheaper in Thailand. Well, I would say I know how much everything costs for me. And the internet for us is what? Let's say it's 34, that'd be 68, so that's 20 and 70. It'd be about $23 a month for the internet at home, and then I just paid. I got the bill yesterday, so I paid today. What is it? 403 baht for my internet, that I get 200 minutes of free calls, which I never have used. I have to pay for the SMS messages as long as they are not from like Line or WhatsApp. If they are, you don't pay anything. And then I get 60 gigabytes of bandwidth, and it cost me 399 baht plus the VAT. So it cost me this month because I had an overage that I paid. So I only paid 403 baht, which is what? 403 divided by 34, that's about $12.50. So I paid $12.50, like I'm streaming right now, and I'm using the Wi-Fi on my computer, and I'm using the bandwidth on my phone. which is, reasonably priced. So I can't complain. Anyway, you see, the thing is I don't really want to compare with the U.S., honestly. Because now, at this point, I think Thailand is a better place to live. You can go to Vietnam and say Vietnam is a better place to live. Well, I wouldn't go as far as electric. Although our electric bill has gone down. Our electric bill was $200, $250 a month. Now it's, maybe it's $100. And I don't know what happened, why the prices went, but maybe it's because of the air conditioners that we had, and now we have newer air conditioners. Okay, well, mine is 4,800. I mean, AIS. Mine is 4,800. Mine was 3,500 last month, and we always use the air conditioner. But my water bill was almost 350. 350 this month, which is probably one of the highest that it's ever been. But with Alex, he's always washing his mouth, and he's always using water to do something, to clean his mouth out, to wash his mouth, to brush his teeth. He's using it a lot more. So it's something you have to think about. But anyway, it's been nice chatting with you all. I don't know. I know what like some people I know in the United States pay, and they pay like $2,000 a month, which is not cheap if you ask me. All right, Jim. I don't know. I have to look at the calendar to see what's going on, but I may be around. I don't know. I didn't really plan on streaming today, but I just thought, why not? Well, it's 4 baht here. So a 4 baht is about an eighth, a ninth. So that's about 12 baht, yeah. That's about 12 and a half cents. So everything costs, man. You got to pay. You're going to pay for, you may not pay for the food. You may pay less for your food. But if you want a car, you're going to pay more money. Well, I mean, it depends. It depends on where you stay, and if you're paying right to the electric company. If you're paying directly to the electric company, then it should just be, what it is. It's like 4 baht per kilowatt hour. But we have so much stuff. You don't know. We have 2 refrigerators, 2 microwaves. We have like 8 computers. Between the kids, between us, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 phones. Well, my water was $10 this month, and that's high because it's usually only 150 to 225 baht. So it went up. Coffee gone. Water gone. I don't know. You got me, man. I don't know if I want to meet. Depends on where I am and what I'm doing. Usually I come here, but I got places I'm going next week. Chao Phraya. What's that other place I'm going? Klong Tui. I think I'm coming here once. I don't know. Just let me know. And we'll figure something out. Anyway, that's all I have. I guess that's it. I guess I'm done. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We had a few people in today. We had something like 52, 55 people in. It's all right. It's not like Hong Kong numbers where I had 300-400 people in. I am one who won't save a dime when I move over there. It's likely cost me more to live in Thailand. See you later, Jim. I mean, listen, I don't make a huge amount, but between me and my wife, we do all right. And I would say we're not rich, you know. Yeah, I don't worry about the taxes. Now, my wife has to worry about the taxes, but I don't really worry about them because my Social Security doesn't get taxed. Hey, spaceman, long time no see. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's all relative, man. You can say, oh, I'm going to get there. It's going to be so cheap. This it ain't cheap for me. It ain't cheap for me. I mean, I got a kid. I got 2 kids. So, you know, Alex goes to the doctor. Boom. He needs food. Boom. That's what I'm going out today. I'm going to spend $50, $100 on his food. Just for him. It's going to be the food for him for the next week that he can drink. And then he's got to go to the doctor. Then he's got to figure out, oh, so what am I going to... Then we got to buy a bunch of yogurt, mashed potatoes, all kinds of soft food like that. We don't usually buy a lot of that stuff. Means, you know, that food, the money that we spend for all of us, all right, that goes down maybe a little bit. And then it's going to go up because of him needing this different kind of food. That's all. That's all. But, I mean, we spend probably $800 a month on groceries. Groceries, and, you know, once in a while we'll get something delivered to the house. You know, maybe once a week we get something delivered, and that's it. So, that's what it amounts to. Too damn much. I like to get by on damn near nothing, but guess what? That doesn't work. You can't get by on nothing here. You're not gonna... I want to do a video about how you live at $1,500 a month here in Thailand. Because I know people who have lived here, but I can tell you, they have absolutely no bills other than their rent and their electric, maybe their phone, and that's it, and food. And they still don't have much left over. So if you got other bills, you're gonna pay more. You're gonna pay, you know. I pay city and county here $5,000. Paid at closing and done $6,000. Wow. U.S. I never eat out. I only eat in. Eating out is way too expensive. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that in the United States. Listen, my parents told me, oh yeah, we used to eat out all the time. Now we never eat out because it's too damn expensive. It's like ridiculous. They go out and to a restaurant, it's $100, $150 for 2 people. They're like, why? For $30, they can have a damn good meal for both of them. You know, and that's, to me, that's high. You know, well, I would say, if you guys want me to keep going, time is money. That's all I'm going to say. Subscribe to the channel. Eating out, what is this? Eating out is crazy. Lived in Japan for 5 years, and eating out was the same as... Yeah. Well, I know about Japan, a little bit about Japan. And, well, you're always going to pay for that, spaceman. You pay for it one way or another. You're married, you pay for it. You're with a girlfriend, you pay for it. You know, it's hit and run, you pay for it. You always got to pay. And that's what everything comes down to. Everything that's valuable, has any value, you have to pay. That's all that it is. So that's why I'm saying, listen, if my channel has some kind of value, then sign up and become a VIP member. It's $1.99. Wow, big money. That's how I roll. God. Anything of value costs money. So if you value this channel, there it is there. I don't even have the trash service. I'm rural. We have trash service. We have trash service in the village. It's 150 baht a month. And I don't know about at the house. I don't know. I don't know exactly how they do it. But anyway, listen. That's all I got. Time to go. I've been here too damn long. Well, that's partly why my property taxes are so cheap. Oh. Yeah. So anyway, it's nice talking to you all, guys. And I guess what I could say is I will see you on Tuesday. What is it? See you next Tuesday. Yeah. That's the acronym. See you next Tuesday. Think about that word. There you go. All right. Anyway, I am Scott. I'm in Bangkok. Bangkok. And I've been on the canals where James Bond was. Quite a lot of fun there. I need to go back. But anyway, I'm in Bangkok. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Until next time, choke me, lelt jerk and my, which means good luck and see you again. Yes. See you next Tuesday. There you go. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. My parents have a rural estate, much cheaper. I live in the city. Still nothing compared to the major cities in the U.S. There you go. All righty. Jerkin the Gherkin. We'll talk to you later.